Well, I guess my definition of happiness is freedom. Freedom to do anything that piques my interest. That pretty much comes in the shape of time. The more time you have, the more efficiently you can do what you have to do, then the more time you have to do what you want to do. I started out in 3D graphics, which is a very technical field, and we were largely pioneers back in South Africa, and that made me absolutely fall in love with the need to understand things and also study quite wide. The reality is, by the time the textbooks hit the shelves and we had access to them, they were already outdated. So I bolstered my 3D career by studying wider than the actual 3D industry. I studied anatomy and photography and physics and math and all of that because it enables you to pick up 3D much faster because it draws upon that. And I think that's been a mainstay for me in my career, is studying the peripheries of whatever I'm busy with. And then after a few years in 3D and a few significant career wins, I decided I lack a bit of knowledge in business. So I joined South Africa's largest independent consulting firm, specifically in their learning and development division, which was amazing because this also allowed me to spread my wings a bit in terms of creativity. I got the opportunity to write and produce training films, animated short films that told real stories about characters that people could connect with, essentially shaping my job role to what I was passionate about, not the other way around, which is the only way my head really works. And then obviously fell in love with business and processes there. I was embedded with the human performance division, which put me right next door to some of the top agile methodology people in the industry, change managers, etc. And just became absolutely infatuated with business as a whole. Everything that businesses struggle with, all the problems, and starting to see all the patterns and realizing that a problem that is a problem in one business is also a problem in the other business. And when you scope learning and development work, you also get to see a real view of what the struggles are in an enterprise, because you can track it based on their budgets. If they have a real problem with upgrading their leadership team, you can bet they'll have a big budget for a piece of training with regards to that. What drew me to 9H initially was connecting with Benji online. It was recommended by a client of mine, someone who was liaising with Benji at the time. He said, "You two think alike, get together." And we met online, and we did, because I think you can fairly instantly tell when someone shares the same passions and same mindset as you do. And I had a good look at the company, loved the work that they did, saw it as an opportunity to come to Malta, stretch my wings a little bit and see what I can bring to the table. And I think the industry here has a lot of potential for growth, not only within the local market, but also abroad. Malta is well positioned in terms of serving clients from regions around us, up north, further south, to the east. Because in a weird way, we're at a fair price versus skill points, and also the fact that most of us are very good English speakers sets us apart from a lot of our European competitors. I think that's interesting. So now the next question is, what kind of future technologies can we bring, and what from my background can come into that? And I think it's an exciting time right now. If you look at what people are doing with Gaussian-Splats, photogrammetry, virtual tours, all of these kinds of things are starting to make their way onto websites now, because even though the lightweightness of your website is still important for SEO purposes, the reality is also that people are trying to craft bigger, wider experiences for their audience. And I think that technology absolutely enables that. You can have 3D galleries online with products, etc. And you can even incorporate real-time engines with that to potentially build product customizers with which you can have an entire online platform that can facilitate what you used to do in person. And this would allow your business to be able to operate across regions. I stay inspired pretty much with learning. I live by a few core principles, and one of them absolutely is that the more you learn, the more wondrous the world becomes. Anything with regards to math, physics, art, even theoretical physics. I believe in pushing myself as far as I can outside of my comfort zone, because the more you do that, the bigger the comfort zone becomes, the bigger the bubble becomes. And I believe that is the only way to true personal as well as professional freedom.